is regression testing? Regression testing is a type of software testing that aims to identify bugs or errors in existing functionality in a program after changes have been made. It tests the application's functionality to ensure that it is behaving as expected and that new changes have not caused any issues with existing features. Regression testing can be manual testing or automated testing or a combination of both. What is the importance of regression testing? Regression testing is an important part of software testing that helps to validate any changes or modifications made to the software. It is used to detect any bugs that were introduced by the changes. This type of testing ensures that the software functions as intended, even after new features or bug fixes have been added. It helps to reduce the risk of releasing a product with errors or bugs and helps to maintain the stability and reliability of the software.
Next, let's see when to do regression testing. Regression testing is typically done after making changes to the system, such as bug fixes, new features, or configuration changes. The goal of regression testing is to verify that the system is still working as expected after these changes have been made. There are several situations in which regression testing may be appropriate. We use regression testing after making changes to the system. Regression testing is necessary to ensure that the changes have not introduced any new bugs or caused any existing functionality to break. Another instance of using regression testing is before releasing a new version of the system. Regression testing helps to ensure that the new version is stable and ready for release. We also do regression testing after integrating a new code. If a new code has been added to the system, it is important to perform regression testing to ensure that the existing functionality has not been affected. We do regression testing periodically. It may be helpful to perform regression testing at regular intervals, even if there have been no changes made to the system, to ensure that it is still functioning properly. Overall, the frequency and timing of regression testing will depend on the specific needs and constraints of your project.
Several types of testing is performed in regression testing. Those are feature validation, performance testing, compatibility testing, database testing, usability testing. What they do is obvious, but let's make sure you understand them all. Feature validation is used to validate the features of an application. It ensures that new or modified features do not affect existing features or functionalities. Performance testing helps identify performance-related issues in an application. It helps in detecting any changes in the performance of an application due to the changes in its code. Compatibility testing is used to check the compatibility of an application with a certain operating system, browser, and device. Database testing is performed to ensure that data is stored and retrieved accurately. Regression testing helps detect any changes in the database after an application is modified. Usability testing is used to check the usability of an application. It ensures that the user interface of an application is working as expected. Test suite for regression testing. First, you need to identify the regression test scenarios. Start by identifying the areas of the system that have changed since the last release. This will help you determine which parts of the system need to be tested. Then create a test suite that contains the regression test scenarios identified in Step 1. This test suite should include the test data to be used, the expected output, and the steps required to execute the tests. Next, automate the tests in the test suite using a test automation tool, such as Selenium, to speed up the testing process. It is possible to automate regression tests. However, the level of automation depends on the complexity of the application and the number of tests in the regression test suite. Automating regression tests may require additional resources and programming expertise and is not always possible or feasible. The next step is to execute the tests and record the results. After that, you have to analyze the results of the tests and identify any areas of concern. Finally, implement corrective action to address any areas of concern identified in the test results. Now, let's see what tools you can use for regression testing. Selenium is an open-source automated testing tool that allows you to create and execute automated tests on web applications and can be used to test the functionality of a website and ensure that it works properly. Silk Test is a test automation tool from Micro Focus that can be used for regression testing. It is designed to test applications quickly and efficiently. It can also be used to validate the code and HTML of a website and identify any bugs or errors. Water is a Ruby library that can be used for regression testing by automating repetitive tasks to ensure that changes have not broken existing functionality. Serenity is an open-source tool for automated acceptance testing and behavior-driven development. Moreover, it has a graphical user interface, GUI, and supports various scripting languages like Java, .NET, and VB-Script. Appium is an open-source test automation tool used for automating mobile applications. It is used for testing different types of mobile applications such as native, hybrid, and web applications. Appium regression testing helps to identify any regressions or changes in the existing functionality of the application. It helps teams write better structured, more maintainable automated acceptance tests, and also produces rich, meaningful test reports. Some people think that regression testing is the same as smoke testing, retesting, and sanity testing. No, smoke testing, retesting, and sanity testing are not the same as regression testing. Smoke testing is a type of testing that is focused on verifying that the most important functions of an application are working correctly. It is usually done early in the testing process, before more thorough testing is done, to ensure that the application is stable enough to be tested further. Smoke tests are designed to quickly identify major issues with an application so that they can be addressed before more in-depth testing is done. Retesting is the process of testing a previously tested program, after modification, to determine whether defects have been corrected. It is typically done to verify that a fix or change to a software application has been successful and that the application continues to function as intended. Sanity testing is a type of testing that is performed to quickly verify that a software application is functioning as expected, without thoroughly testing every feature. It is typically done after a minor change has been made to an application, or when testing a new build of an application, to ensure that the most important functions are working correctly and that the application is stable enough to be tested further. Regression testing is a type of testing that is performed to verify that changes or modifications to a software application do not negatively impact existing functionality. It is typically done after changes have been made to an application to ensure that the changes have not caused any unintended consequences. In summary, smoke testing, retesting, and sanity testing are all types of testing that have different goals and are used at different stages in the testing process. Regression testing is focused on ensuring that changes to an application have not introduced new problems or caused any unintended consequences. That's all for this video. So what do you think? Did this video help you to learn new things? We covered many topics related to regression testing. Is there something else that you wanted to know? Please mention it in the comment section. Hopefully, we will cover it in the next video soon. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel so we will be motivated to create more of these videos.